Hello students and welcome back to the Past Candidates 2015 Wassce Elective ICT Practical Paper. In our previous video, we dealt with question 1, which is an HTML question. In this particular video, we'll be going ahead to answer the database question. Now, as I have always mentioned, before you start providing a solution to a database question, always plan your solution. It's very important to plan your solution because it gives you a clear picture of the solution that is required and also saves you time in creating your database. So I'm going to read the question, then we're going to delve into the solution. So question 2 says, use an appropriate database application. In our case, we're going to be using Microsoft Access to design a database and name it DB Sales in the folder created. This folder being referred to here is once again the folder that we have created with our name and our index number to be submitted to WAEC via the compact disk that would have all our solutions burned onto. So that's the folder you're supposed to be saving all your works into. Now, this folder should have a database called DB Sales. So we can go ahead and create our database here. Name it DB Sales as the question has prescribed. Save it into our solutions folder, which is here. Right. Save it. Then we can go ahead to what? Can go ahead to create our new database. Now, question 2A says, create the table as shown below in the database, right? B says, format the textile field to be a lookup field where the various textiles could be displayed for selection. C says, use a query to compute the sales for each textile using the formula sales equals price times quantity sold. D says, save the query as QRY sales. And E says, use the table TBL sales to create a form to show the following: textile and quantity sold. F says save the form as FRM sales. So first things first, we have to create a table. And in that table, we are going to change the textile field to be a lookup field, which can display various textiles involved. Then we are going to compute a field called sales using a query, and also using a formula, which is sales equals price times quantity sold. Then we are going to save the query as query sales, and we are going to create a form based on textiles and quantity sold. Then you're going to save our form. Pretty simple and straightforward question for 15 solid marks. So to do that, we're going to first create our table. Now, by default, MS Access gives us names our table by table 1. We're going to change that by saving this table. Going to change the name to TBL sales. Okay, so we are going to switch to our design view so that we can have easy access to the field name and the data type we're supposed to use. So we have ID first, and our ID contains an alphabet, so it can't be an auto number. It's going to be a number. Then we have our textile, which is going to be a short text because it's mainly made up of alphabets. Then we are going to have price into brackets GHC, which is also going to be number, right? Then we have QTY sold, which is going to be a number. Then we have sales, which is definitely going to be a number because it is a combination of price and quantity, as the question C has already told us. So you're going to change this back to design view, data sheets view. Yes, save it. And we have all our fields ready to receive data. So I'm going to go ahead and compute our data. Okay. Our data field is supposed to be, our data type is supposed to be a short text. So let me just use 1. Go here. It's not supposed to be a number because there's T in our ID sequence, which is an alphabet. So short text will do well here. So back to data view, data sheets view. And then now we can enter. This is why the data type is so important, because the wrong data type will not be accepted if you enter the values in there. Now T002, T003, T004. Now in the textiles, we have new style. Next one is print text. So you can go ahead and pause the video and populate your table, or you can be doing it whilst you're watching. Or if your table is already populated, you can jump, you can skip a few minutes ahead and listen to what I have to say after this table has been created. Okay, so 64. Now our last column, which is made up of quantity sold, 32, 36, 26, and 12. Awesome. So now our table has been created. Our table has been created and we have scored the full marks for A. B says format the textile field to be a lookup field where the various textiles could be displayed for selection. To do this, we're going to switch to the design view. Now, as you can see, under the field properties here, we have general and we have lookup. The question says lookup. So we're going to go to the lookup field and our display control here says text box. Now, please notice this. Because we are working with the textile field, it should be selected when you are changing the field properties. Before I said this right now, it was on ID. So we would have done the change for ID instead of textile. So make sure that you have selected a particular field where you are applying the lookup criteria, or you are changing the lookup property. So currently it's a text box for you to enter information, but we are going to change that into a combo box. A combo box will make it be able to contain lots of other variety of selections that one can make. So over here it says various text selections. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have new style, we have print text, we have ATL, we have Holland. Now that we have changed the display control, the row source type we are going to use is a list. We want the person to be able to drop down a list and select from the list. Now the row source, that is what our list should contain, are going to be the various types of textiles. So we have new style, we have print text, we have ATL, and we have Holland. Awesome. So we're going to click on OK. Then we're going to switch back to our datasheets view. So yes, save it. Now you notice something instantly. When you click on the textile field, you're going to notice a drop-down button here, which contains all the other fields that you can easily choose from. So by doing this, we have indeed solved question B. So I can change it to print text, change it back to Holland. Fantastic. Now, the C part of the question says, use a query to compute the sales for each textile using the formula sales equals price, asterisk quantity sold. So we're going to click on our table TBL sales, and we're going to go ahead and create a query, right? So TBL sales, add, close. And then what we need to create our sales is basically price and quantity sold. So out of all the fields in our TBL sales table, we only need price and quantity sold to compute what? Sales. Now, can go ahead and click on sales itself. Then we have sales here. Now, to compute sales as a derivative of price times quantity sold, we would have to enter that description into the field conditions or the field properties. To do that, we are going to right click on the field sales and go to zoom. Now that zoom has opened, it gives us a broader space, working space, to be able to define what sales really stands for. So we're going to bring our column. Sales should be a computation of price. Now, one important thing to note is that sales is a computation of price and quantity sold. However, the name of price in our field or in our table is price into bracket GHC bracket close. It is important to write the exact name of the field that you are referencing so that MS Access can find that field. A wrong name would not let the application run, will not let a computation run. We can do that and see. So let's see if I go ahead to just type price, bracket close, asterisk. The next field that we want to call up is quantity sold. So QTY sold. Right. And then square bracket. So what I've basically written here is that this sales tab is formed or produces values that are based on this computation. That means the values based that are located in the field called price and the values located in the field called quantity sold. Now I'm going ahead to run this. Now you notice that it's saying I should enter the parameter for price, right? Now that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is to be able to call the field accurately. So you're going to go back and make sure the name reflects the field that is present, because we don't want to be entering new values because our values are already in the table. So now price on our table is accurately represented by the field name. We're going ahead to click on OK. Then we go ahead and run. Now you notice instantly that the sales field has been populated with values. You can cross-check this to the calculator, and you will notice that the values under sales are basically multiplications of price and quantity sold. So now we have been able to create this. We have solved our question. The D part of our question says save the query as QRY sales. So we can just right click, save, change the name to QRY sales, and fantastic, it is done. So now on our left hand side, you can see tables TBL sales and query QRY sales. The E part of our question says that use the table TBL sales to create a form to show the following. So you're going to once again highlight TBL sales, go to create, and you're going to go to form wizard. Now, our form has only two fields, that's textile and quantity sold. So we don't need all the fields. All we need is what? Textile. Next one is what? Quantity what? Sold. Click on next. We are choosing columnar, next, and finish. And there we have it. We have our textile, we have the quantity sold, and then we have our drop down button here, sorry, which shows the various types of what? Materials. Now, if you come down and you choose the other records, you see Printex quantity sold 36. You see ATL quantity sold is 26. You see Holland quantity sold is 12. So at this point, you have also been able to accurately solve your question E, and you go ahead and save this. Okay, you can close it and rename it as FRM sales. Fantastic. So it says save the form as SRM sales. We can change the name here to FRM sales. And ladies and gentlemen, we are done. We have successfully solved question 2 for 15 solid marks. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Take your time, go through the solution all over again, produce your own results, and then make sure it tallies what you have just watched in this video. Cheers, guys.